Hello everyone, I hope everyone's doing good. I just got my camera keyed up here, so you see the gal in front of me is still on, so I'm going to wait a few minutes and share myself out to a few places on my page. And then we'll go over to the Double Trouble. And hi Yvonne. Hi Yadi. Looks like she shared me in. I'm just trying to go one more place. There it is. And I'm going to go over to the Double Trouble group so I can look at how I'm coming in over there. Okay, there I am. Hello everyone and welcome to the Double Trouble group's picnic event today. I'm Colleen Tepper with a couple of Tra-La-Las, and the event is hosted by the Double Trouble group with Yvonne, the Crafting Gammy. And I'm going to put you down so I can show you what I'm going to be making. And we'll see how that looks. I have a little delay here. I did start painting. Well, we don't want you to see all my paints, but I think that's okay. I got a lot of paint on my desk right now. Okay, so what this is, it's a watering can, and this goes on here, and it also fits on here when you want to water. So I did take it off for now until I did not paint this, and I will not paint it, and it is stored on there. So I'm just going to leave it like it is because I don't want to interfere with the water, because I think you should be able to use it. It is new. Excuse me, I got it at Target in the dollar spot. And what I did is I painted this blue. First of all, it's plastic, so it's pink plastic. I painted it with some Slick Stick by Dixie Belle. Then I put Walmart's cashew chalk paint on it. What is that brand? Waverly. And then I drew a little ant, and he's got some stuff. He's on a picnic. This is his grass. This is the blanket, and that's the sky. So I did base coat that part, and I drew the little picture on there. So his blanket, because everything has to be dry on this surface before you put a new color on. That's why I did these like I did. So this is a blanket, and I'm going to make it red checkered. I put some red paint down, and I put a little bit of water in it. I'm going to start in the middle and go straight down. I'm going to do it one more time because it's important to be able to rest your hand on something so you can keep the line straight. Then I'm going to go halfway here or a little bit over there. And I'm going to do one more here. Then I'm going to do one here. Oh, I'm having trouble because I cannot plant my hand. And we'll do one here. And we're going to let this dry so that we can make it checkered. And I can still see my picture on there pretty good. So while that's drying, I'm going to put a few trees. First of all, I'm going to put some clouds, okay? We'll do some clouds, and we'll do white paint. And I'm going to set that down in there. And I have this brush that looks like this. And I'm going to get it wet. And I'm just going to tap off a little bit of the water, but I want it pretty wet. And I'm tapping it into the paint. And I'll tap it off a little bit more still. And then we're just going to, put some clouds in here. And the paint's pretty wet. It's got a lot of water in it. And as it dries, it'll get a little bit more, it'll fade a little bit. It won't look so blotchy. We're going to just scrape across the bottom a little bit. There's a hair that came off the brush. I don't see it anymore. Oh, there it is. Get that out of here. We don't want... Hair is not our friend. I have lots of fans going in the house today. I do have some air conditioning going, but I got fans too because some rooms are real cold and some rooms are warmer. And my room up here is one of the warm rooms, so I put a fan out in the hallway and I put a fan on a little fan on a little box right outside my door to blow the wind in here. Okay, these are dry, so I'm going to do that next set of stripes real quick, and it's with washi paint. I'm going to come straight down the middle, and then I'm going to do one over here, and one over here. So that is going to be our plaid blanket. And we'll have the food and stuff on there. I can still see it pretty good. So we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to open my paint container. Hi Fergie. Hi Cheryl, how are you? And it's something I can use. I can use it out on my deck. This year I only have one potted flower. With all the medical stuff we had going on, I really didn't plant a lot of flowers this year, but maybe I'll get some more. They're going to be on clearance pretty soon here. Okay, I'm going to take some brown paint and I'm going to put some trees up here. So there'll be some trees in the background. And they'll just be, not real realistic, but so we're going to just go like this. And the fan is drying my paint out very quickly. So It was so humid in here yesterday. I couldn't take it. It was so bad. Now it's summer, so the trees are going to have some leaves on them. Well, I wonder what that is. We'll do one more right here. We'll do 3 trees. And they're off in the distance, so, you know, they have some branches, but we're going to pounce some color over those, so I wonder what brush I should use for that. I'd like to use my dry brush, but I can't use it like that. It'll kill the brush. Okay. So I put a little bit of green paint on there, and we're just gonna pounce a little bit of paint. And I picked up some darker green just to give it some shadow. And we just want to make it look like there is some trees back there. They don't have to be perfect. I'm using one of my stencil brushes that's softer. So I'm home alone tonight. My husband, they're at the races tonight. So, and I suggested they not go because of the heat, but they could hardly wait to get out of here. So you know how that goes. You gotta just let them go. I worry about them in the heat, but okay, I think those are pretty good. I'll do some stuff to the stems and stuff, but that's what that looks like. There's a delay, so I'm so far behind, I don't know. Okay. So I think you can see the trees better there. And I'm just going to add in some lighter brown on the stems. There's such a delay on my second device that, hey Sheila, hi Brenda, how are you? Hi Glenda, hi Jan. We're painting a paint can today, and I'm in an event in the Double Trouble group with the Crafting Gammy. I'm the last presenter today. Everyone had made picnic themed projects today. So this is an ant here, and I'm going to paint him in graphite because it is a lighter color than the black, and I want to be able to use the black to shade him. So it's a dark gray. I can kind of see his line work, but I kind of cannot too with the red going through there, but we'll just wing it, huh? I'll probably have to put a couple coats on them. That's the thing about plastic too, is you have to do several coats. So he's got a big head. I made him with a big head. And here's the line drawing. So I'm going to move that over here so I can look at it to make sure I'm doing what I had planned. This graphite is a thinner color paint. Did I do the right one? Yes. So we got one coat on him there, and we're going to have to put a couple more on. And this is one of his legs are like this, and we'll fix that up a little bit more, but I just want to get them put in so I know what I'm painting here. Hand and an arm. And a hand. And an arm. And the watermelon is in this hand over here. And then we have a round watermelon here. And then I might have made his body in the wrong spot. So move that round watermelon over just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit off the blanket, but that's how she goes. I'm just trying to get the base coating in for now. I think there's a heat wave over most of the United States. A lot of the girls in the event today were saying it's 90. It's 90 here. And it's very high humidity. And then I have an apple pie here. So the apple pie, I'm doing the apple pie in kind of a brown. I think apple pies are brown, the crust. So. After I'm done, I'm going to run up to the next town further north. I wanted to stop at that Dollar Tree. I had bought something at my Dollar Tree, and it was a raffia thing, and I wanted to get some more. And I went to my Dollar Tree yesterday, and they're all out of everything again. So the raffia was cool. It was a swag, and it had paper tiki bar people on it, and so it's just a simple little pie, but we'll make it look better once we start shading it and stuff. I was going to use a smaller one for the rind on the watermelon that he's holding. And then we'll proceed to make it more lifelike as we go along. I just need to get the base coating in. And let's see. I'm going to use Wild Berry. That one I haven't opened yet. Let's see if I don't know if I have any left in this bottle. This is a color that I cannot get in any of the stores, and I use it a lot. There's still some in there. I use it a lot, so you know, I gotta use every little bit in the bottle because I gotta pay for shipping to get new stuff. Yeah, you guys have a lot of the same weather we have. You're in southwest Iowa, so yeah, you're probably pretty hot down there. You might get hotter down in Iowa than we get up in Minnesota. But it is hot. So I'm going to go one more time here. I just don't want to lift it. Okay. And we'll shade that and stuff. And I'm going to go back and do his body some more. I want to try and get the line straight, so. I don't want to touch anything that I just painted. I'm putting the paint on kind of thick, but it is pretty smooth. It's not real smooth, but it's thick. And it will require lots of varnish on it. Oops. Well, his head just got bigger, so we'll fix this one a little bit. There's a curve there. So, okay. Now, I'm going to make his arms and legs darker. I'm going to come in and put a little bit of black over that, just so they stand out more. And I will shade him in black, too. So, I'm going to go back to this little round that I got here. And this leg starts way up here. And once I shade his body with black, it'll blend in better. I mean, I don't know if everybody does it that way, but that's the way I do it. So I got my own unique way of doing things, I guess. And his arm is here. It is so hard to paint on not a flat surface. And I do paint a lot of teapots and stuff like that, but this is only the second one I've done since last Christmas, so I gotta get back into the swing of things with surfaces that are not flat, you know. Wait, let me see. Okay. Kind of screwed that up. But, okay, so this is what we've got so far. And I'm gonna not work on him anymore for the time being. I'm gonna work on the watermelon. So I do have to put another coat on that watermelon. I can see through it. So and I am using some water in the paint. My paint is drying up on my palette pretty quickly with that fan going. It made a big difference though to have some circulation brought in here. I mean, the room is smaller and it's kind of closed off. I got some stuff in front of the vent, and the vent is here, and I have a thing on both sides of it and then a table, so it's not like it's got a straight shot into the room. Okay, while this is drying a little bit, I'll show you what I've been working on. I did this here. It's I switched to Halloween, so I've been making little things. I made this one. It's kind of spooky. I crackled the back and stuff, so I have some of those going, and I got little frames that I'm gonna put them in and stuff. What else have I done recently? It seems like all I've been doing is hanging out in this room. And I don't want to leave this on there too long because it's plastic. We don't want to have it get misshaped, you know. We'll put a few little flowers on there and some sprigs of grass. He doesn't have a big food yeah, it's so hot, and I don't know, you know, if it's got something to do with my body changing, that the heat, I can't stand it. I can't stand being outside. I just can't take the heat anymore. And before, I used to lay out in the sun and tan and everything. Okay, so I'm going to get some more of that dark green color, plantation pine. This is another one that I'm having a hard time finding. And it's almost empty. I think I got some on this with my last order. So I got a full bottle somewhere, but I still want to use all the paint. Okay. after that dries, I'll shade around it a little bit and add some highlights onto it and stuff. That's the watermelon. So we're gonna shade the bottom of this rind. And I can't shade that yet, but I can shade around the pie. The pie should be fairly easy to do. I just have to be able to get at it. Without touching any of the wet paint. That's the biggest hurdle I have is not being able to rest my hand when I paint these, and the wet paint also, not getting my hand in the stuff that's wet still. Okay. Now this here, I'm gonna try and make the little pinches darker. I can't use that much water. By no means is it going to be perfect. I might have to reshade the inside again. I'm just kind of touching it on there. I might be touching it a little bit too much, but we'll make it work. Fix it with some highlighting to it. We might be able to dry brush on here. Well, it's not perfectly round, but my pies never look perfect either. I'm gonna hit it with the dryer. Oops, it looks like I got some green paint up there. I must have touched something. I probably touched it on my finger. Let's see if I can get that off with just wetting it and get as much of it off as I can by scrubbing it off. Oh, see, I went down to the underneath on that right there. Let's see if we can fix that up just a little bit. Plastic is very hard to paint on. You have to be very careful. And I'm just going to tap it on there, and I can put some flowers there to cover that up. Because it'll look like a patch when it dries. I mean, I might be able to feather it out a bit and stuff, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries. I might have to go over it again. Okay, I think I can shade the outside of this watermelon. keep thinking I hear wind blowing, and it's got to be the fan because it's still bright and sunny out, and I have no windows open, so. Holding my breath. Does anybody else hold their breath when they are doing something? I'm trying to break that habit, but it's hard to do. I do a lot of breath holding. Then I talk like I just ran a mile. Alright, I gotta get out some. What time is it? 6:35? I got time still. This is deep burgundy. And that's what I'm gonna use to shade the piece of watermelon. Okay. Yeah, I'm stabbing my paint over here. And it's on a wet palette too. And this is just white. And I'm going to come around like that. I'm just going to shaded that side, so I'm going to highlight here. Too much water. And I know they're kind of a yellow, but I'm just going with the white because I have the white out. Let's do this. Where are you? This is cadmium yellow. I'm gonna just do this on the dark stripes of the watermelon. I have way too much water. I'm gonna give this watermelon a little stem here. It's make-believe, so the stem is still on the watermelon. Okay? And let's get that little liner brush and do I'm just touching the black down to make some seeds. Okay. And I'm gonna we're going to try dry brushing. I don't know how it's going to work on here, but we'll soon find out, won't we? I'm not pushing very hard at all because I don't want to lift any of the paint. Okay, I think that's good for now. And let's just make some to make it look more like a, okay, then I'm gonna get out some fresh white because I'm gonna try and make his eyes. Oh, there it is there. Okay, Colleen, let's see if we can do this. Oh, you know what? I want to put his cheeks on first because, and his nose. I'm going to give him a nose too. That way I can, oh, I threw my paint away, my paint that I've been using every drop out of the bottle. I threw it away. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's give him some cheeks. Okay. And I'm gonna keep that dry brush just for a minute. Just for a minute. I might not use it, but before I wash it. So I want his eyes here. Putting white on black is like putting black on white. I always get nervous because it's hard to clean up. Okay, there's one eye. They are far from perfect, but we're just going to go with that. I might have to do another coat on his eyes. Black for his mouth. Hopefully it'll show up on this light gray. Or this dark gray, sorry about that. And we're going to give him an open mouth. Put a tongue in there so it'll add some more color to his face. Okay, so I'm going to dry this. Just a second, I got a little lump there. So we want to get that out before I dry it. Okay. This is what it looks like so far. I think the watermelon and pie are done. I do have to shade around the blanket, and I'm going to shade into the blanket too, I think. So I'm going to do a little bit, one more coat on the eyes. If I should use red on his, let's see if this shows up on his mouth. I'm going to have to go to a smaller liner brush. And his tongue is just like a little M, and then you just fill it in. Okay, that looks all right. But I'm going to do the darks of his eyes. Now he's got to have black in his eyes. I can hardly wait to get some prescription reading glasses, because these Dollar Tree ones are not doing it for me. And the glasses I had before my surgery are too strong, so I've got several different I have several different strengths that I went and bought, and I am changing them. I had one pair that I don't know what the strength was that I had from years ago. I found it in my other room over there, and those were perfect. I really liked those. And the bow broke off them. So, I don't know what strength they were, and I wish I knew. I bought 200s. I got a headache from those. I bought 100s. Those were not strong enough. So I got 150s and 125s, and we've been trying that. Okay, let me just, I want to do this. I just want to put a little highlight on that. Okay, I think he is pretty much done. But I'll put some flowers on it. That's, so far, that's what I've got. And I'm going to put a few little flowers. That is still showing up there. I'm gonna wash out this dry brush. That's still showing. I'll put another coat on it. I might not be able to put a flower way up there. I don't know. We'll put another coat on it, and hopefully it will cover it. It's where I could not get the green off. I'm gonna just pat some stuff on there. Let's see if I can. And the flowers, I'll make a little bunch of daisies over here. So we need to put some yellow down, just some yellow dots for there, so I know where I'm coming into. We'll do 7 of them. We'll see if I let's see if I can last that long. And I'm just gonna do daisies. They're easy and they're what I can do. Thanks, Cheryl. Oh, you're welcome, Yvonne. Thank you for having me. The ant is owning the picnic. Yes, it is his picnic. You know, I had looked at different different pictures and stuff of picnic stuff, and a lot of them were pretty complicated, so I wanted to be able to finish it, you know. And yeah, some days I paint faster than other days too. Some days I have better days, and just like a little bunch of daisies here. We'll get the middles bigger, but I need the dots so I know where to pull the petals into. And this is just with a 2 filbert, so it's a little brush. Okay, we'll wash that off, and we'll come in with some bigger yellow in the middle. Kind of fix up where all the petals come together. And I'm just kind of tapping it in there. Just to make it go to each petal. Now this one's just going to be like a half one here because the top is not in there. We didn't put any petals on the top. Okay. And I have such a big amount of this paint out, and it's completely hardened over, so we're going to pull that off, the skin off of that. Gotta wait till those dry before I can shade it, the leaves. But we'll go like this, just to, and let's shade around this blanket to make that fit into the my paint is terribly bad right now. But it will clean up that edge where I went over with the red, and kind of falls off the surface there. Once again, this was an event today with the Double Trouble group, hosted by the Craftin' Gammy, Yvonne. If you are not a member of the Double Trouble group, please feel free to join. It is a free group. She has events most every weekend, and sometimes during the week too. And you can watch all the crafters in one spot. Everybody did something different today. Everyone's stuff was different. It was all themed the same, but it was very different. So each project was different. There was a few of us that did the ants. Okay. I think I'm going to do something up here. I only have 3 minutes left. I probably will not do it online, but I might do something up there, maybe some more trees. I mean, that's a good filler. So shading those backwards. Because it's so green on green on green, I'm outlining the leaves with white. I mean, you can make them a different colored green if you want, but I use the same one. So it helps it. And let's just do this. I just want to do a little bit of this real quick down to give it some blades of grass, so I'll probably put little blades of grass throughout the whole grass just to make it look so it's not so flat. All right, I'll stop there and let me get this like this. But this is the watermelon picnic, or let's go on a picnic. It's a watering can with an ant on his little rug with his watermelon and pie. So that's what I created today. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It's just me, Colleen Tepper, with a couple of tra-la-las. Thank you.